¿Qué tal amigos? Bienvenidos a un nuevo video en el canal. Estoy muy contento de estar nuevamente con todos ustedes. Bueno, la verdad es que no estoy contento. La verdad es que estoy muy caliente por las declaraciones que hizo Pam Bondi. Así que llegamos al video estelar, señores. Así vamos a cerrar la semana. Llegamos con el video estelar de Pam Bondi y lamentables las declaraciones que hizo la fiscal general de los Estados Unidos al ser cuestionada y duramente cuestionada por el representante Gary Peters, porque le cuestionó por qué están los representantes del departamento de ICE que están haciendo todas las deportaciones, por qué van enmascarados. Así que les digo de una vez, se van a enojar conmigo, así que bueno, no ahondo más en la introducción. Bienvenidos, estamos en el video estelar, así que quédense y pónganse cómodos y adelante con las imágenes.
Oh, Senator Peters. Senator Peters is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Attorney General Boddy, good to have you here. Welcome to the committee. General Boddy, leadership at DHS has claimed that ICE and others who are carrying out immigration enforcement activities and support are covering their faces to protect themselves from being doxxed. And certainly I fully understand those concerns and I appreciate those concerns. And I think they're real concerns. But I'm deeply concerned that the lack of identification during these activities is dangerous, both to the public as well as to the officers themselves. The public risk being harmed by individuals pretending to be immigration enforcement, which has already happened. We've seen that happen. And these officers also risk being injured by individuals who think they're basically being kidnapped or attacked by some unknown assailant. So my question for you, Attorney General Bondi, is given the number of DOJ employees currently conducting immigration enforcement activities in support of DHS, how are you going to ensure that the safety of the public and the officers, if they continue to not follow required protocol to identify themselves as law enforcement?
And Senator Peters, that's the first time that issue has come to me about them you're saying that law enforcement officers, when they cover their faces.
Right.
I do know they are being doxxed, as you said. They're being threatened. Their families are being threatened. You know,
Again, I get that, but they have to identify themselves. There is an insignia oftentimes. They have to identify themselves as law enforcement. People think, here's a person coming up to me, not identified, covering themselves. They're kidnapping. They'll probably fight back. That endangers the officer as well. And that's a serious situation. People need to know that they're dealing with a federal law enforcement official.
Senator, I would be happy to look at that issue with you and talk to all of our partner law enforcement agencies, but I can assure you that if they're covering their faces now, it's to protect themselves. But they also want to protect all citizens, and that's something we can work together on to ensure the safety of everyone and their families.
Yeah. And it's protecting themselves, too, if they identify themselves. It's not just the person, because someone's going to fight back if you just think a strange person with their face covered
It sounds
throwing
like
you into a van. Most people will resist that.
It sounds like you have a specific case, and I would
We will have
happy
those.
to talk to you about that at a later time because I'm not aware of that happening, but I'd be happy to talk to you about that.
We'd be happy to do it. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Earlier this month, the administration announced it was launching an effort to ramp up immigration apprehensions by shifting more than 5,000 personnel from across federal law enforcement, including approximately 2,000 from within the Justice Department, away from their typical duties to focus on immigration-related cases, including targeting individuals whose status had been terminated by this administration. This effort is on top of previous directives for department officials to focus on immigration enforcement. Many of these officials impacted by these directives, unsurprisingly, say they're being forced to turn their attention away from other national security missions, including counterterrorism and cyber security. There has been public reporting that hundreds of FBI agents have been reassigned to immigration-related duties, and raising real concerns among agents themselves that the shift could hinder investigations into terror threats and espionage by China and Russia. And we have also heard concerns about resources being reoriented at the state and local level. Attorney General Bondi, I know the Justice Department officials have said that this president can walk and chew gum at the same time, and that you continue to hold all criminals accountable regardless of immigration status. But numerous reports on the ground from career government officials and some basic common sense would beg to differ. Given the attacks on Iran over the weekend, this issue has become even more salient, with threats from terrorists inspired by Iran, cyber attacks, often by Iran itself, or additional efforts by that regime to go after government leaders. So my question is, how are you ensuring that there are enough resources focused on the full range of national security threats, and there's no shortage of those, when so many of our DOJ resources are being reallocated to immigration enforcement?
I talked to Director Patel or Deputy Director Bongino 7 days a week. I speak to my National Security Division. We meet every single day. Emil Bovey, who's currently with us, is doing an incredible job in the national security space as well, helping us. We are doing everything. We are using our resources on all fronts. And when you say immigration, immigration is going hand in hand with the people who have come into our country through our borders. I think just over 1,500 illegal aliens from Iran are here. Chinese individuals, Russian individuals, people from every country. That goes hand in hand with immigration, identifying them, finding them, and getting them out of our country. Will national security be compromised? Not at all, Senator. It will be increased. It will be enhanced. I can tell you, every day we talk about this, multiple times a day, 7 days a week, as to what we can do, working hand in hand with DEA, ATF agents, FBI, Homeland Security, ICE, to make sure that our nation is safe. And FBI, they have a 24/7 center set up now. And actually, we've set some up around the country. And you're welcome to actually come see one if you would like anytime. I would love to have you come in and see what we do. But we have that set up around our country on a national security level to be sure Americans are safe and do everything we can to get terrorists who are in our country out of our country.
Well, certainly, I don't disagree with any of that. There do obviously criminal elements that are there need to be taken care of, but you're also looking at cybersecurity, which is different. You're looking at counterterrorism issues that are different. And I don't believe that we were over-resourced in those areas. You may beg to differ. So they were not over-resourced. We were making sure that they had the resources to deal with the other threats. But now those people are being pulled off those jobs for another job. I just want to make sure that we're still doing things necessary to protect us from cyber threats, counterterrorism, and the long list of other threats that we face every day.
Thank you for those questions, and I know your background, and that's why it's so important to all of us. And yes, we are. And cybersecurity, I could go on for 2 hours about cybersecurity and what's happening. Not only that, the online child predators online, but the foreign terrorist threats through cybersecurity that we can talk about in a different setting. I'd be happy to discuss all of that with you and our efforts, not only made within our country, but with our partners worldwide.
Well, I'll look forward to having that opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you,
Mr. Chairman.
Senator.
Bueno, señores, estamos viendo esa declaración. A mí la verdad me parece lamentable cómo, solamente repito el video para que no se quede la pantalla estática. A mí me parece increíble cómo Pam Bondi puede decir, o sea, que es la primera vez que le cuestionan este tema y es la primera vez que le llega a sus oídos este tema de por qué las personas que están trabajando en el departamento de ICE, que son las encargadas de hacer las detenciones para consecuentemente hacer todas las deportaciones, ¿cómo puedes decir que es la primera vez que llega este tema a tus oídos? O sea, ¿cómo puede ser posible? Todo mundo lo sabe. Todo mundo lo sabe y lo hemos estado criticando aquí en el canal hasta el cansancio, que cómo puede ser posible, y me gustó que haya hecho ese tipo de declaraciones el senador Peters o el senador Peters, que cómo puede ser posible que estas personas puedan llegar sin identificarse, enmascarados, armados, literalmente, o sea, esto es un secuestro. Y lo hemos dicho en el canal, eso es un secuestro, que lleguen más de 5, 7, 10 encapuchados a tu domicilio, tumben la puerta, te amaguen, estén pues literalmente agrediendo a tu familia, te someten de una manera poco profesional, o sea, incluso salvaje, no quería usar ese término, pero está rayando en lo violento. Hemos visto desde la rendición de cuentas a Kristi Noem, hemos visto cómo estas personas se burlan de los migrantes, se están burlando incluso de los hijos de los migrantes, que se burlan de que están sometiendo a los papás de estos niños. Y lo hemos visto como Kristi Noem incluso hasta se ríe y graba esas detenciones con su celular personal, porque no es muy fácil de conseguir, no es muy difícil, perdonen, conseguir esas imágenes donde Kristi Noem se pone a grabar las detenciones y se ríen. O sea, es lamentable cómo Pam Bondi hace ese tipo de declaraciones de que ella no sabía. Es lo que siempre les digo con esta gente, cuando tienen sus responsabilidades, nunca saben. O sea, ¿cómo no vas a saber? Es tu trabajo. ¿Cómo no vas a saber? Es tu trabajo, para eso estás cobrando, para eso te están pagando millones de contribuyentes para que tú digas que tú no sabes. ¿De verdad? O sea, es increíble, o sea, y lo hemos dicho, si llegan tantas personas en una camioneta, así como hizo hace unos momentos alusión el senador Peters, si llegan en una camioneta personas encapuchadas, toman tu puerta y están armadas, obviamente eso es un secuestro. Eso, o sea, imagínense, si eso no pasa en Estados Unidos, que lamentablemente pasa, ellos inmediatamente marcan eso como alerta roja, le dicen a todos los estadounidenses, no viajen a tal país, marcan a ese país como un país terrorista, y la misma fiscal Pam Bondi ha marcado a México como un adversario extranjero de los Estados Unidos. A ese nivel de cinismo están llegando este tipo de autoridades dentro del gobierno que preside Donald Trump. De verdad, o sea, ya no me quería calentar, pero les dije porque tenía mucho que decir sobre este punto, pero es impresionante cómo Pam Bondi niega la realidad de las cosas, al igual que Kristi Noem, estas dos personas siguen coludidas con este tipo de acciones porque se les está tratando severamente mal a todos los hermanos migrantes. Así que hasta aquí el video, señores. No quiero hacerlo muy largo. La verdad me calenté, no quiero que hasta me duela la cabeza, pero bueno, ¿qué es lo que opinan? La verdad es una deplorable declaración por parte de Kristi Noem. Así que, bueno, y me hubiera gustado que el senador Peters, perdonen, hubiera hecho un poco más de insistencia en ese aspecto. Creo que se le fue ahí el tema, pero no es cualquier cosa y es algo que vamos a estar criticando aquí en el canal. Así que, bueno, así cerramos la semana. Muy picante este tema. La verdad, deplorable todas estas declaraciones de Pam Bondi. Así que bueno, suscríbanse, es totalmente gratis. Como les comento, es gratuito y solamente para que ustedes no se pierdan los videos que estamos aquí publicando en el canal. Hay contenido todos los días, de lunes a domingo, hay todos los días contenido. Así que bueno, comenten qué les pareció el video, qué les pareció las declaraciones de Pam Bondi. Así que bueno, les mando un abrazo, nos vemos mañana con más contenido. Así que bueno, me despido y les mando un abrazo. Bye bye.